music, music, music,
technology,
music,
technology,
music, music,
technology,
teacher,
music,
technology,
teacher, teacher,
network,
teacher,
network, net.
teacher.
Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to set up a recording so that you can align the music and get a nice prep beat that your students can follow along to. So for this example, I'm using GarageBand, and I'm going to use the Dance Bacchanal from Samson and Delilah, just because that came to that recording pretty quickly. And in any case, so here's one of the things that's really, really super important if you're going to do this. The first thing you need to do before you import an audio file into GarageBand is to figure out what the tempo is of the audio that you're going to be importing. And I'll show you why that's important here in just a minute. But for the section that I'm going to record, went back and checked along my metronome and found that the tempo is 124 BPM. So I'm going to come up here in GarageBand and go ahead and reset this to 124. So it's only 4 clicks a minute, but trust me, it's important. So once I have that set first, then I'm going to go and import the audio. So here's the audio from my iTunes. I can just click, drag, and drop into GarageBand. Pretty easy. Now I'm going to zoom out so I can see. So as I'm planning this lesson, I'm not worried about, I don't want to do the oboe solo and stuff at the beginning. I've actually figured out that I want to start over here at this section. So I want to start right there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in and figure out where that count 1 is. So the cadence comes right there on that last big note. And if I zoom in, I can see that that note starts right about there. So I'm actually going to put it just in front of the peak of that signal. And then I'm going to use Command T, which is going to split the track, and I'm going to delete the part that I don't want to use. Now, here's why getting that tempo set before you import the video is important, is because the next thing I want to do is I want to align, get the audio aligned with the timeline up here. Okay, so that count 1 in the audio is going to be count 1 on my timeline. So as I'm listening, you should be able to see that this playhead is hitting those measures on count 1. Okay, so we're pretty close. So once we get that set, so now I've got the audio lined up with the timeline. I've got it trimmed to the part that I want to start with. Now I want to get this set up so I can use this audio to create the video for my students. But if I'm going to give them a conducting cue to begin, it's difficult to hit record and simultaneously be ready to give beat 1. So here's an easy way to do this with GarageBand. First, I'm going to create another track. I'm not actually going to record anything on here, but I need another track as if I was going to record. And then I'm going to make sure that I have this count in button selected. Now, if I come up to record, I can set the count in to be 1 bar or 2 bars. I'm going to leave this at 2 bars because I want to be able to hear 4 clicks first, and then I want to be able to give 4 counts conducting for the students to start with. And I would explain in the video that, we're going to play this section starting at this rehearsal letter, and you're going to get 4 counts from me, and then we're all going to play together. So now when I click record, I'm going to hear 4 clicks before the music starts. So now I can anticipate when that music is going to begin. All right. So the next point, once I have this done, the next step is to then record the video of me conducting the music that my students are going to play with. So I'm going to switch out of GarageBand and go back to the video so you can see what that's going to. So now that I have my audio file set up in GarageBand, I'm ready to record the video that I'm going to be sending to my students. So again, one of the first things I want to do is I want to use headphones or earbuds so that I can hear the audio, but I'm not going to be recording the audio that I'm listening to. I'm just going to be recording, or they're not going to hear the audio that I hear. And I'm going to show you how we're going to align the audio that they get just a bit later. So, and again, I would set up further away from the camera so they could see everything really clearly. But so this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to go into GarageBand where I've set up my count in, and then I am going to hit record. And so on and so forth. So that's how you're going to make that, record that video of you conducting. And then you're going to take that video that you just recorded and you're going to go back and line it up with GarageBand. So let me show you how to do that. So now that I've recorded that video, the next thing I want to do is upload that video into GarageBand. So first, I want to open up the video that I just made, some of which you just saw in QuickTime, but I'm going to trim it. So if I go to Edit and Trim, I'm going to get the video over here to where I'm starting to conduct. So there it is. Now I can get back. I'm going to try to find that moment right here for the prep beats, and I'm going to just trim it there. All right, and then I'm going to save this. Call it whatever you want to. And so it's going to save that to my desktop. Now, okay, so in GarageBand, I can go to Track and Show Movie Track. And then from here, I'm going to click on Movie and then Open Movie. And I want to find that video that I just created right here. Okay, so that's going to upload this video. Now from here, so this is the audio that was actually recorded as I was making the video. I don't want that audio, so I'm going to get rid of that track. And this other track that I was going to be using before, I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, so here is where this music starts. So what I want to do now is align the beginning of the music with where I am giving that downbeat. So, oops, let's zoom in on this a little bit more so I can get closer. So right there. So that's where I want the music to start. I'm going to set my playhead up. Now I'm going to zoom back out. And then I'm going to move this over to line up. And if you find that you have trouble getting it to line up exactly with the playhead, if you zoom in, that will usually help. Okay. So now that I have the audio lined up with what I'm conducting, if I go back, let's see what that looks like. So now that's lined up pretty well. So from here, what I'm going to do with GarageBand, now that that's lined up, because this is what the students are actually going to see and hear. So they're not going to hear the count in that I use to prep myself. Last step is here in GarageBand, I'm going to go to File, and instead of Save, if it's just audio, I'm going to go to Movie. Export audio to movie. And what that's going to do in GarageBand, again, I can give it a name, and it's going to combine the video with the audio track, and it's going to export that as an MP4 or a video file. And then that file you can upload into Google Classroom or whatever your LMS is to add to your assignment. And now you've got your video lined up with essentially what is a click track. So if you wanted your students to record along with this, this is what they're going to see and what they're going to hear. But to make their audio recording, again, it's important that they use headphones, so they're recording just their sound and not the sound of the audio playback. So with all that being done, you've now created a video that you can upload to Google Classroom or your LMS that students can then use to as a backing track to record maybe a playing test. So when the students record themselves, they're going to be wearing their headphones like I described earlier, and they're going to be seeing the video that you created, and with their earbuds in, they're going to be hearing what you heard. But as they record themselves, they're only going to be recording their sound unless if they're recording a video like using Apple Clips, then they're going to be recording video of themselves and the audio from them playing the excerpt. But they won't be hearing or recording what the backing track that you gave or the video that they're watching. But hopefully this will keep your students engaged. This will keep them playing their instruments, which is key to continuing their development and their music education as we deal with this time. So thank you for tuning in. If you found these videos helpful, I would encourage you to tell your friends and colleagues about it, and would certainly encourage you to hit that subscribe button, and so you can keep up to date with more videos as become available. Anytime you have requests or things that you would like to see me go over, please feel free to leave a comment or shoot me an email. Visit our website at www.mutechteachernet.com, or you can email me at heath@mutechteachernet.com. Stay safe out there, keep your distance, but remember, a smile can go a long ways.
Music, music, music,
Technology,
music,
technology,
music, music,
technology,
teacher, 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 teacher,
music,
technology,
teacher, teacher, teacher,
network,
teacher,
network,
teacher,
network, network, music,
technology,
teacher,
network, music,
technology,
teacher,
network,
teacher,
network, music,
technology,
teacher,
network, music,
technology,
teacher,
network,
tech,
teacher,
network.